kids, Mr. Galvan here. Ready for the next chapter, chapter 8 of Bandit's Moon. It's getting interesting. I'm a girl. It was a cunning but wicked scheme. It would amuse him to collect the reward the gringos had placed on his own head. But, sir, I said, I don't think anyone's going to hand over the reward money without seeing your body. Your dead body, sir. I don't think I care to arrange that detail, muchacho. Just do as I say. And when I do, I hope you'll mark my account paid in full. What are you talking about, muchacho? I've taught you to read, more or less. I've kept my part of the bargain. You will turn me loose. Do I have your promise? He looked genuinely stricken. You will have some complaint about the way I treated you, he asked. Oh, of course not, I said. You are unhappy? Not exactly, but you are bandits and horse thieves. True. My mother would turn you in, I think. And you? I was feeling uncomfortable. How much loyalty did I owe him? I give you a head start, I promised solemnly. He grinned. I'd be in town, keeping an eye on you. I may touch my hat to you in the plaza. Once I leave, you go your own way. And good luck, Jenky. I heaved a sigh of relief. Well, goodbye, sir. And I rode alone into Bedbug. Just the name began giving me the all-over itches, and I began to scratch whether I needed to or not. There hardly seemed room in town for anything but saloons, but I spied out the barbershop behind a cloud of flies. I also spied out a wanted poster tacked to the front of a building I took to be a jail. Joaquin was wanted in Bedbug, as he was everywhere else. I tied the buckskin to the hitch rail outside the barbershop. The barber, who wore a starched collar, was waxing the ends of his mustache at a wall mirror. The ends curved around sharp as fishhooks. Sir, I said, I'm looking for my brother, Langley Lafayette Smith. He's somewhere in the gold diggings. Have you heard any word about him? He's tall for his age and still growing. He's 17, though he'll be 18 in March. He has green eyes like mine and hair down to his shoulders the last time I saw him. Ain't laid eyes on him, said the barber. Are you sure? If he turns up, I'll tell him you was a-looking for him. Oh, I'll be obliged, I said. Want your hair cut? I'll only charge you a nickel. I'm letting my hair grow out, I said. Do you have any old newspapers I could have? Sonny, we read them till the prints wore out, and then we use them for wallpaper. I wasn't too crestfallen that he'd never heard of my brother, for I felt I was getting off to a start at last. As I was about to cross the streets to the newspaper office, I saw Joaquin ride slowly into town. He pretended he didn't know me. A little overhead bell jangled when I opened the door of the newspaper office. Are you the editor? I asked a fuzzy-bearded man at a cubbyhole desk. He was wearing a broken-down hat squarely on his head like a tree stump. I'm the editor, publisher, janitor, and everything else around here, he said. His name turned out to be Yellowbird Ridge, and he was half Cherokee Indian. Lad, how would you like to own this misbegotten rag of a newspaper? I'll listen to a reasonable offer, or even an unreasonable offer. I might trade the whole shebang for your jackknife. No, sir, I said. I just came to hand over this pistol and this scarf. I'm not in need of either, young feller. Well, they belong to Joaquin Murrieta. He jumped as if he discovered a ball of lightning on the seat of his chair. His hat seemed to rise off his head. Not truly. Truly, I said solemnly. You can see his initials on the handle. So I can. Are you trying to tell me that Joaquin the Terrible is dead? I wanted to be careful to tell the truth as best I could, yet keep my word to Joaquin. Dead, sir? Well, I didn't feel his heart to see if he had stopped beating. You took this scarf and pistol off him? he didn't seem to want them anymore. Where'd the great villain fall? Asked Mr. Yellowbird Ridge. Well, he didn't exactly fall. His last words to me was that he'd have fallen out with Three-Fingered Jack. That might not be the exact truth. Shot by Three-Fingered Jack, the editor had now jerked himself to his feet. As if the story couldn't wait another moment, he tightened his hat on his head and began big pieces of wooden type with his fingers. That'd be the greatest news to hit California since gold was discovered at Sutter's Sawmill. Yes, sir, I said. How do you like the sound of this for my headline? Terrible Joaquin, the Robin Hood of the mountains, dead in a blaze of gunfire. Robin Hood? I muttered doubtfully. Didn't he steal from the king mostly? I heard that Joaquin steals from anybody, sir. Ah, of course. The bandit has learned about democracy. So he steals from everyone equally. Oh, I know a book full about terrible Joaquin. Now that the rascal's dead, I might write it. The Robin Hood of the mountains. The words began to glow in my head. They made him seem like a bigger splash than a common horse thief and outlaw. They made him seem kind of exalted. And it was true, he did help people. But how true was true? Wasn't Joaquin still a terrible villain? A murderer, even. My mother would be glad to be shed of such company, and I should be too. I heard the newspaper man say, You're after the reward, of course. What's your name? The reward? No, sir, I said. I don't want a penny of it. He was so busy setting type that he didn't seem to be paying close attention. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, lad, or your bandits either. There are lots of Joaquins in California. Someone who knew the real gent will have to identify the body. With a flash that took my breath away, I suddenly saw that Joaquin wasn't after the reward money. He was up to some hanky-panky of his own. He meant to draw that villain Calico out of hiding. It was Calico who, face to face, had once tied Joaquin to a tree. Calico would be anxious to identify the dead outlaw. Now, where'd you leave the body? Asked the editor. I left him on the road over in that direction, I said, pointing, and that was the truth. Can I have an old newspaper? Help yourself. I folded up a newspaper and stuffed it in my pillow slip. How many bullet holes in the body? He asked. Oh, I didn't count, sir. 6. I've never known Three-Fingered Jack to fire fewer than 6 bullets even at a tin can. Suit yourself, I said. Mr. Yellowbird Ridge looked over from his type case. What did you say your name was? Annie Rose Smith, I said, feeling suddenly lighthearted. If newspapers all around picked up the story, as they were bound to, Lank would be sure to read my name. Annie Rose Smith of Vermilion Parish, Louisiana, I said. Make sure you put that in. The editor was staring at me. Annie Rose? Huh, it's a girl's name. I'm a girl, I declared. That's the end of chapter 8.